Welcome to Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you're thinking about moving to Chattanooga and you want to live in the downtown area, then this video is for you. I really think there's something for everyone downtown, whether you're a young professional or family or empty nesters or retirees that are just looking to live downtown. There's gonna be a community and a neighborhood that's for you. So in this video, we're gonna tour 5 of the most prominent neighborhoods in the downtown area in Chattanooga. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Southside District in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Southside is kind of anchored by the Chattanooga Choo-Choo, which is right behind me, and it runs from 12th Street all the way down to 20th Street on this end. The neighborhood, in terms of housing, you're gonna have a lot of condos, you're gonna have a few single family homes sprinkled in, and then you'll have quite a few townhomes that have been built in the past couple of years here. It's currently a couple days before Christmas, and we're here in the Chattanooga Choo-Choo. This is an old train depot that's kind of in the center or at the heart of the Southside District. In this area, there's a couple of things to do. There's a jewelry store, there's a few breweries, and out here, if we go right over this way, you'll see one of the old trains and just kind of this cool community area. A couple of my favorite things in Southside. First up, we've got Need Loves. Need Loves is an amazing place to go get breakfast. For coffee, probably my favorite place on the south side would be Velo, spelled V-E-L-O. I also really like Frothy Monkey. Frothy Monkey is just here behind me. It's a really cool ambiance. This is another breakfast place, so you can actually sit down and eat there. And then for dinner, I think my favorite place on the south side would be Aaliyah. They have kind of a seasonal menu of some things that are changing in and out, so it's really, really excellent food. This is actually Aaliyah right here. If you didn't know us here, it's easy to miss. But again, some of the best food on the south side. A few other things that characterize this part of town. You're gonna have a lot of murals on the walls through here. And there's also quite a bit of street art in this area as well, like sculptures, things made out of bronze, steel, mixed medium. It's a really cool area. They've worked hard to build a vibe out of this area so that when you come down here, there's a cool feeling, there's a cool atmosphere, and that's really what Main Street on Southside is all about. So a few stats on real estate in the Southside District. Our median home sale price in 2024 was $402,000, with the median price per square foot being right around $269. So that's really not too bad of an average price per square foot in this area. You're mostly looking at townhomes, a few condos, and a few single family homes in this part of town. Now, the average days on market in 2024 was 34 days. So that's pretty quick. That's a little bit quicker than Chattanooga as a whole. So if you find something in this area that you want to buy, then it makes sense to move pretty quick. We're now in the city center neighborhood. This is kind of the hub for shopping, for your tech, your innovation. This is really the hub for all of that in Chattanooga. Right behind me is Warehouse Row. This is an amazing place with a couple of upscale shopping options. You've got things like Lululemon, J. Crew, Anthropologie. There's a couple furniture stores and boutiques in there as well. On the restaurant side of things, you've got Public House. There is a coffee shop in there. There's 210 Jack's, Tupelo Honey right behind me, which serves breakfast, brunch. We're gonna walk around and check this out. So another thing with Warehouse Row is there's actually a ton of office space up above. So you've got companies like Ernst & Young, EY that's here. There's a couple financial advisors. I think there's a few builders, you know, those sorts of professions that tend to have offices here. You've got a Madewell here. This is one of my wife's favorites. Basically, every time I come here with my wife, I know we're spending some money. So in City Center, you've got the TVA, which is one of the largest employers in Chattanooga. That stands for the Tennessee Valley Authority. A lot of the housing options in City Center are gonna be rental property. So you've got these big apartment complexes like the one right behind me. They're gonna have apartment buildings ranging all kinds of different prices and all kinds of different styles and whatnot. So that's a lot of what the housing supply is in the city center area. Right behind me is EPB. They're the company that manages a lot of the electricity and power for people around here, as well as the internet. EPB is famous for providing some of the world's fastest internet. I'm pretty sure for $1,500 a month, you can get 25 gigabits a second down. So if you wanna like run a home server or something crazy, you can do that. And that's one of the things that makes Chattanooga so attractive to people in tech, to local startups and things, is that you have internet here that is really, really fast and really reliable. So we're in the Reed House Hotel, and the Reed House is this really cool fusion of the past, of Chattanooga's history, and kind of some modern elements. It recently went through a $30 million Gatsby themed renovation. So you've got all this beautiful paneling, all this beautiful marble on the ground that still maintains elements of the building's history, but it also modernizes it in a really elegant and beautiful way. One of my favorite things about the restoration is they left old things like these telephone booths intact in here. So I don't actually know if these opened. Oh yeah, they do. Sure enough, check this out. I can go in, and then that is so cool. Hello, operator? Yes? No. It's technically called West Village, but I kind of consider this part of the city center neighborhood because it's really not that big of an area. West Village is not that big of an area. So in my mind, it really just is an extension of city center. One of my favorite things in this area is Easy Bistro. It's this beautiful restaurant right over here, and the food is exceptional. Now, a few of the other things that you're gonna notice in this area is you have small shops and boutiques, kind of like this floral plant store right here. You've got a bunch of restaurants and places to eat. I mean, it's just a really cool area. And then right back this way is the Reed House Hotel, and that's where we just were. And city center housing options are actually fairly limited for what you can literally buy. Most of the housing here is rental property. However, if you're looking to buy in the area, the median home sale price was $470,000 in 2024. The median price per square foot was $399 per square foot, which is really high. And I think this reflects that most of the property that you're able to purchase down here is going to be a condo, if not a few townhomes and a few single family homes, but really it's mostly condos. And there's not a lot of options for things that you can actually buy down here. Now in 2024, the average days on market in this area was 51 days. So most properties down here that are for sale are staying on market a little bit longer than in other areas in Chattanooga. We're now in the Riverview neighborhood, which is really the beating heart of downtown Chattanooga. There's tons of outdoor space here. We're right in front of the Tennessee River. You've got the Walnut Street walking bridge. Just down there is the Tennessee Aquarium. We've got the IMAX Theater. There's all kinds of restaurants and things for the family and kids to do. This really is the central spot to be in Chattanooga, and there's tons of options for property in this area. Let's go check out some of this stuff to see here. Behind me is one of my favorite hotels downtown. This and the Reed House are by far the two best places, in my opinion, to stay when you come downtown. So the Edwin Hotel, it's got this lovely restaurant on the main floor, the Whitebird, and then up on the roof, there's a rooftop bar that overlooks the river. It's a great place to go with friends and watch the sunset. It's called the Whiskey Thief, and that is probably one of the best places to spend an evening in Chattanooga. Over here, we've got the ice cream show. So this is a fun thing to do with the kids, you know, take them to the ice cream show, get a little scoop of ice cream. And then above that, you've got apartments, and over here we've got condos that overlook the river. So one of the biggest attractions downtown on the riverfront is the Tennessee Aquarium. That's actually where we are right now. So we're in the saltwater aquarium and we're heading up to the top. There's both a freshwater and a saltwater aquarium. And apparently, I read this, I think it was on Wikipedia. It said that the freshwater aquarium is one of the largest freshwater aquariums in the world. So I don't know if that's true. You can fact check me on that. I think there's one in Singapore that's probably bigger than this, but it's a very large freshwater aquarium. This riverfront area is a place called Ross's Landing. Now, Ross's Landing is a really cool spot because they do a lot of concerts and things like that. Actually, the Chattanooga Ironman and sometimes the Ironman World Championships are hosted right down here. So this is where the swim is. This is where, you know, kind of the finish line and the start line is. It's right down here on Ross's Landing. This is one of the most iconic elements of Chattanooga, Tennessee's skyline. So as you can see, we're in this big, open, light aviary room. This is actually the butterfly garden on top of the Tennessee Aquarium. Obviously behind me is the Tennessee Aquarium. We've got the Market Street Bridge, and then behind that is the Walnut Street Walking Bridge. Over on this side is Northshore. We're on the Riverview here. Riverview extends down this way a little ways. We've got the Greenway in sight here. So all along the riverfront, we have, I wanna say it's 14 miles of Greenway, maybe it's 13 or 14. They've been expanding it over the past couple of years. So I know at one point it was 13, I think it's 14, maybe even up to like 16 miles of greenway space now. Down this way, we have some single family homes. We've got townhomes that overlook the water. And then pretty much all up this way, there are condos, apartment buildings, those sorts of things. So if you're looking for real estate in the area, you're gonna have a few single family homes down that way, but it's mostly townhomes. And then up this way, you're gonna have your condos and apartments. The median home sale price in this neighborhood, in the Riverview neighborhood, is $470,000. The price per square foot is $380 per square foot. Your price per square foot reflects that you're buying condos and townhomes, and a lot of them are on the newer side. So it's not very old property. A lot of it is very nice, very modern, very new. Average days on market on the riverfront, 21 days. So one of the other big attractions on Riverview is High Point Climbing that's right behind me here. It's an amazing indoor climbing gym, and you actually have this outdoor climbing wall here that's up the front of the building. So you can literally scale the front of the building. And I just think it's a really cool feature to have right here on the riverfront. So now we're in the UTC/MLK Boulevard part of Chattanooga. So MLK Boulevard is just over this way, and then we're actually standing on UTC's campus. That's University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. UTC has a population of about 11,000 students. So this whole area, it is a neighborhood, but it's not a neighborhood where there's a whole lot of stuff for sale. Most of the housing here is for rent. UTC is part of the University of Tennessee school system. Obviously the big flagship school is in Knoxville, UTK. It's where you have the Vols. You've got Neyland Stadium for the football program there that seats 110,000 people. There's a student population of just around 30,000 students at UTK. So UTC is a little bit smaller, but you still have a really great atmosphere here. I mean, with 11,000 students, there's enough people that, you know, you're gonna get a little bit more attention from your professors. You're gonna be able to connect a little bit more with them. There are sports programs here that are really good. We've got the UTC Moccasins. They've got a football program, they've got volleyball, they've got powerlifting, there's tennis, there's all kinds of things. So it is a big school for sports. Just down behind me is MLK Boulevard. MLK Boulevard is kind of an up and coming area. There's a lot of apartment complexes down it. There's a couple single family homes further up the boulevard. And then there are a few restaurants and things as well. One of the restaurants would be Champy's Famous Fried Chicken. Delicious fried chicken. You've also got Odd Story Brewing in this area. That's one of my favorite places to go and grab a burger, some fries. I don't really drink, but my friends that do really enjoy the beverages there. In 2024, the average home sale price in this area was $380,000. So you're a little bit cheaper than some of the other areas downtown. Average price per square foot was $274. So again, you're getting a bit more bang for your buck in this area. Now there's not a lot of housing supply in this area because again, most of the housing here is rental property for students. Median days on market in this area is 29 days on market. So in 2024, this was a bit faster than the Chattanooga average. Signals that there's, you know, quite a bit of demand for property in this area. I think that's probably largely fueled by proximity to UTC and your proximity to Erlanger, the Children's Hospital, Memorial, and just downtown in general. And finally, we have my favorite neighborhood, downtown Chattanooga, which is Northshore. So the bulk of downtown Chattanooga is right across the river over there. You can actually walk across the Walnut Street Bridge, or you can drive across the Market Street Bridge to get to Northshore. Northshore is kind of an up and coming area in Chattanooga. There's a lot of older neighborhoods that are kind of up along this mountainside behind us here. There's also a 92-acre natural reserve with hiking trails, biking trails up there. It's called Stringer's Ridge. And then right here, we're standing in Renaissance Park. Renaissance Park connects to Coolidge Park, which is right over here. Coolidge Park is a beautiful area. There's all these fountains and things for kids to play in. There's a greenway space where people can run. There's public art installations. There's a really cool carousel there with 52 hand-carved animals. And then right up here, you've got Fraser Avenue. Along Fraser Avenue, there's all kinds of shops and stores. There's Clumpy's Ice Cream, which has delicious ice cream. A little bit further up this way, there's kind of a restaurant scene. You've got Taco Mamacita, Milk and Honey, and a couple other really good restaurants. Over this way, we have a restaurant called Zaya, which is Korean barbecue. There's also a First Watch over here. There's a Whole Foods, a Publix. So this is really a little bit more of a community feel. There's a lot of housing options. You've got apartment buildings, you've got single family homes, townhomes, condos. There are all kinds of options for living over here. So in terms of the price of homes in this area, the median home sale price in Northshore in 2024 was $527,000. So this is a little bit more expensive than the other areas that we've talked about, but this is because you have some really high-end houses here that are driving up the price. You have single family homes in the $1 and $2 million price range. You have homes on the other scale of things too that go all the way down to probably the mid $300,000 range. If you're looking for a townhome, you could get something on the smaller side, the mid $300,000 range. Average price per square foot down here is $309. So you're a little bit lower than some of the areas we've talked about in the video. And that's probably because you've got single family homes that make up the bulk of the housing supply here. A little bit more square footage for your money. There's also a number of older homes in this area that people are buying and renovating. And so I think that brings down our average price per square foot. So if you're buying something on the newer end, you're gonna expect to spend a little bit more price per square footage wise. In terms of days on market, the median number of days on market was 15 days on market. So Northshore has a very hot market. When things go up for sale, they go quick. So if you are shopping around on Northshore and this is where you wanna be, because you want the convenience, you want the amenities, you want the access to downtown, you want the access to the parks, then you're gonna wanna jump on whatever you find quick because days on market are pretty short in this area. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. So if you're thinking about moving to Chattanooga and you would like some help finding the perfect home for you, feel free to reach out. I'll leave my contact information here and in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.